Hello, YouTube. Sorry, I'm not used to my short hair again, man. I normally don't have short hair that many times out of the year. Fuck, that light is beyond bright, right? That light is insanely bright. 1 second. There we go. It's a lot darker. It's a lot darker, but you know what? It's better for me, right? I just fucked up my hair. I'm not used to having shorter hair, right? I look fucking nuts with this short hair. It was a home job, though, so that's the good part. I'm gonna end up cutting my hair after a Renaissance fair next month, which is actually coming up in like a week. Yay! I can't wait. So, a few things we have to talk about. I've changed my opinion on the monk tree. Also, the game is slated to come out at the end of October, or at the end of November, with the pre-patch at the end of October. Now there has been some talk from the wonderful Steve Denuser about, oh guys, yeah, the time skip was really only 3 years. The Shadowlands took place over 2 years. Time skip's only 3 years. That's normally how we do it. It's like, really? Time skip's 3 years? Are we really going by that? Because that doesn't make sense canonically. If you're saying that every expansion has a time skip of 3 years. Also, being like, oh, it's been several years since they got back. That doesn't make sense either. And people are like, oh my god, people are using Steve Denuser's word as gospel now after preaching hate towards them. It's like, yes, guess what? A broken clock can be right twice a day. I don't think he's right. I really don't. But that's fine. I'm not the be-all, end-all of who can say what about Warcraft, especially when it comes to a writer. I don't like him. I'm happy that his character is essentially gone for an expansion. But, hey, he said it. So we're going to be getting pre-patch October 28th or something like that. So that's like 9 weeks away. And then November 28th or 26th or something is when the expansion launches. That's fine. People are like, oh no, we have to wait through Christmas again. Maybe. Maybe not. It really all depends, right? Because compared to the past, I really hate this chair. Compared to the past, 3 expansions, there's not a lot of raid prep. We're not doing any kind of AP grind. I guess technically you would do the invasions, but those are only once every 3 days. What else is there? We're not doing any form of conduit grinding. We're not doing any form of like borrowed power grind. You don't have to magically do that stuff. The only thing that I guess would kind of be a grind would be the profession stuff. But from the looks of it, I think the top guilds are just going to farm that work out to a crafter guild. You know, that might be cheaper than being like, hey guys, don't forget to get all your crafting upgraded. You know, I don't know. I would personally be listening to Max from Limit talk about that. But we're not here for that. We're not here for that. No. The leaked release date was really good, though. I truly believe that if they release the raid a week early and then do Mythic from there, because we don't need 2 weeks prep. We don't need 2 weeks prep. The game will be fucking boring after that first reset if we can't just do Mythic Plus immediately. I will have a capped alt. It's going to be boring, right? It's going to be boring. But again, that's not why we're here. We're here for something else. We're here for something else. That's right. We're here for the monk tree. Why are we going over the windwalker tree again? I've changed my mind, guys. This is going to play a lot like the Unholy DK. But we're not going to go into max level yet. No. This is going to be the tree that I'm going to be rocking while I'm when the pre-patch hits, right? Because when the pre-patch hits, we get everything. So people will be like, oh, I lose abilities, I lose this, I lose that. You know what? You do. But that's fine. And for the love of God, Blizz, do not Get rid of Bone Dust Brew, or get rid of Feline. Get rid of Feline Stomp in exchange for Weapons of Order. Weapons of Order was a lot more fun. Feline Stomp is not fun. Feline Stomp is just annoying. It's just, it's stupid. So this is the tree. As you can see, it's required level 60 for these trees. So we're going to go over what we have, or rather what we're kind of missing, right? So we're missing an extra charge of roll, right? I'm fairly certain that roll's baseline. It has to be baseline because you can get celerity. So we'll just assume we only have one charge of roll. Oh, that's right. We can look here. Why did I not do that? Let's go with roll. Oh. Okay. Whatever. Assume that we don't have roll baseline. That's fine, because we have Tiger's Lust. Yeah, roll is really useful. Mobility is king. Monks are king of mobility. But if you're a windwalker, flying serpent kick over roll all day, every day, because there is a fucking damage aspect to it. Yes, it is a very low damage aspect, but it's a damage aspect, right? I used to use it as someone told me I was using it as a gap closer. I was just using it because it was a button to press and it did damage in Mist of Pandaria. They're like, "Oh, are you using it for this?" Like, I was like, "Oh, well, did you know that if you jump with Chi Torpedo, you can do the damage with it?" Like, not really. So, what are we losing in utility? Technically, we are losing expel harm, but that's fine. I don't think that expel harm is really necessary, anyways. Especially when we have this, which is Vivify. It's now instant. Vivify heals for more than expel harm does. Anyways, the only thing you're missing out is the damage bit to it. But we've got Spearhand Strike. We've got Fortifying Brew. You can technically choose cooldown on. I just went with the Touch of Death talent because Touch of Death. As you can see over here, I kind of have a Touch of Death build. So we've got Ring of Peace. We have both Diffuse Magic and Dampen Harm, which is not something that we have right now. So that's definitely a boost in our defensive capability, especially when we have Touch of Karma as well, which is fine. We don't have Eye of the Tiger, but again, we have Chi Wave, which is fine. We could take out Chi Wave. Right? Maybe we don't want Chi Wave. Maybe we do want the Purifying Brew. It's all up to how much you want. But I took Chi Wave because it's a 15-second cooldown. It helps with combo strikes. I'm assuming that's still going to be our mastery because that would be the smart move. Then we move down to here. Touch of Death cooldown reduced by 120 seconds. So from the wording on this kind of stuff, right? From the wording on all of these Touch of Death talents, we are getting Legion-style Touch of Death, where it is a basic bitch cooldown. Now, if Touch of Death is suddenly made into an Execute again, I mean, we can do a lot of other stuff. We can save these points that we're wasting in Touch of Death and put them somewhere else. This is also when 3 consecutive abilities hit more than 3 enemies, deal an additional blank damage. That's easy enough to make. I mean, if you've got Shadow Boxing treads, otherwise you can just Spinning Crane Kick, Fist of Fury, Spinning Crane Kick, or Chi Burst, Spinning Crane Kick, Fist of Fury, something like that, which is okay. We're not really losing anything here. I mean, I don't like that it's just a flat damage increase right there, but hey, I mean, we're even picking up Disable, right? And we don't need Disable. We can swap Disable for Eye of the Tiger, because, yeah, fuck it. Okay, there, more damage. Or if you want, you can pick up a thing of roll. Or you can even pick up Soothing Mist. It's like, oh, Vivify can be cast instantly on the target. Vivify is already instant cast. So we go over here to the class tree. Now, as you can see, I do have some talents that you might think would be an obvious choice, right? Like open palm strike and touch of the tiger. That might be stuff that I would pick up at max level, but like when we have 5 more points to mess around with. But this was just essentially getting as much as I could for level 60. So we do have power strikes. We don't have open palm strikes. Open palm strikes, that might be something to pick up later. Same with touch of the tiger, maybe. You know, I'm completely ignoring all AoE. It might be something to just pick up shadow boxing treads eventually, because it's just a 3-point investment. We also pick up Mark of the Crane that way. So we're really buffing Fist of Fury. You know, we've got Touch of Karma. We've got this. We're increasing damage of Touch of Death. Like I said, this is essentially a Touch of Death build, right? Or it has a lot of stuff to do with Touch of Death. Now, you might be thinking, well, wait a minute here. Why are you doing this build? Right? Now, I could easily get rid of Meridian Strikes, which I might do for Fury of Zuen. That might be a thing. It's something to discuss later. Obviously, these trees are going to change. But here's one reason why I really like Windwalker now. I was having a chat with some of the people that I play with, and they're like, hey, what do you think of the Windwalker talent tree? I'm like, I'm kind of disappointed because of this and this. And it's like, I mean, you know, they've got a lot of Touch of Death stuff in it. And, you know, I told them essentially everything I said in the video. They're like, hey, don't you play an Unholy DK? I'm like, yeah. Like, do you like how Unholy plays? Like, yeah, you know, it's got a lot of fast stuff to it, stuff like that. Like, you do realize that that's how Windwalker Monk is probably going to play if this tree stays kind of how it is. And I'm like, oh, whoa, hang on a second, sir. Did you just, like, fucking blow my mind? Right? Did you just blow my mind here? Because if we're looking at this, they're not wrong. So Fist of Fury, how Fist of Fury would have a lot more cooldown reduction because of Zuen's battle gear. You know, you'd be doing more Tiger Palms. You'd have more chi, more energy, stuff like that. You'd have the increased chance to crit with Rising Sun Kick, plus the increased chance to crit. I mean, it's only once every minute, which isn't that amazing. But then, you know, we've got Strike of the Windlord. It's like, oh, well, you know, we can reduce the cooldown of Storm, Earth, and Fire by every second. We have Spiritual Focus, which nobody chooses right now because it's on the same tier as Serenity and Whirling Dragon Punch. But all 3 of those abilities would be great together. And Serenity might even be amazing. Serenity might be the way to go because you're going for more stuff off cooldown. So if you take Zuen's battle gear, you might take Serenity, at least on single target, maybe? I don't know. I personally would. I don't like how the fucking clone thing is. I don't like it. So, sorry, it's like fucking 1 o'clock and I just woke up. So we're messing with cooldowns a lot. As you can see, Invoke Zuen, we've got his cooldown still being reduced, which is fine because every time we combo strike. So all of these cooldowns are like, hey, you know, when you spend chi, when you combo strike, do stuff like that. That reduces the cooldown on stuff. That's going to be great. Touch of Death, an under a minute cooldown. It's like maybe a 45-second cooldown. Maybe. I think I'm going to say yes to Touch of Death being maybe an average of 45-second cooldown. Which, that'd be great. That'd be great, you know, fucking rock that shit. If Touch of Death isn't anything, you know, we just reuse talent points elsewhere, maybe go a little more AoE build. Over here, I'm not sure. I'm still going the Touch of Death cooldown reduction. I don't care. Maybe there's going to be a boss like the Wrath of Ajara, or whatever, where it's like in execute range for an extended amount of time. Or maybe you have ads that need to die on a minute cooldown or something like that. Or maybe it's just really good for Mythic Plus. But I'm actually really excited about this tree. I don't know what NYI is. I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared that they bring back Weapons of Order, which personally would be a good idea. It would be a good idea. I'd be okay with them bringing back Weapons of Order. if they removed one of these abilities for it. I do not like the fact that we have these abilities. I do not like Feline Stomp. I do not like Bone Dust Brew. Put Bone Dust Brew in with the Brewmaster or some shit, man. Give me my Zune statue, which was data mined. But this is how it's going to go. You know, you got Last Emperor's Capacitor, which could be good. You know, swap Emperor's Capacitor, put Jade Ignition over where Shadow Boxing Tread is. So swap those two. Right? Or swap the Touch of Death thing with with Jade Ignition, and then per Shadow Boxing Treads over where Touch of Death is, right? Swap those three. But I'm liking this. I'm liking this. 30% increase in Rushing Jade Wind as well. It costs 1 chi on a 6-second cooldown. But it's an AoE ability though. So these are our leveling trees, right? This is the tree that I'm going to have, like, unless things change entirely, which they can. By the way, they can. They can completely change between now and pre-patch. I'm going to be rocking this. What am I missing? I'm missing a cooldown. I'm missing a Covenant cooldown. I am gaining Touch of Death as a cooldown. I'm missing a Covenant cooldown. I am missing a Chi Builder, but I am gaining Strike of the Windlord. I am gaining cooldowns on, or cooldown resets and cooldown reductions. I'm okay with that. I'm gaining the ability to have Serenity and it not be absolutely shit. So I'm okay with this tree. Over here, you know, this again, it's going to rely heavily on how Touch of Death plays. I need to check out some streams because I still don't have Alpha, Blizz. I still don't have Alpha. I mean, I'm used to getting Beta, so maybe I'll get into Beta next week. But I'm okay with where this is right now, right? Like, this doesn't make sense. So you have Feline Stomp, and then Way of the Fate and Last Emperor's Capacitor. But why wouldn't that just lead to the set bonus? Or whatever that you get. Right? Where it generates more chi orbs or whatever. Or its cooldown is reduced even further. Why does it have one charge? Can you just get an extra charge of it? Like, Last Emperor's Capacitor higher up on the tree. I really like this. Like I said, I cannot say that I like this tree any more than I do. I mean, if they put in, you know, Chi Explosion, I'd like it even more. But they're not going to. I have to live with the fact that we will not get Chi Explosion. We will not get Chi Explosion, but a little bit. A little bit. They might bring it back eventually after they realize Jade Ignition is a shit talent. Just give us Chi Explosion. Give us Chi, get rid of Jade Ignition, replace it with Shadow Boxing, like swap them, and then replace Jade Ignition with Chi Explosion and make Chi Explosion like a choice node or something. I don't care. Just give me Chi Explosion. If you're not going to give me the good clones that are not completely bugged, right? This brings up another thing. People might just go Serenity because the clones are bugged. Maybe not on AoE, but you're going to be spending a lot of fucking chi during that time. And they come off cooldown quicker, and you've got Zune's battle gear, so I don't know. Overall, the idea behind this tree, it's aces. It's solid 8 out of 10. I take off 2 points because of the place of some talents. Plus, we don't have Chi Explosion or normal clones. But I'm really enjoying this. This is going to be really fun to play. I cannot wait to see pre-patch on PTR in a couple weeks, and then to also see beta either next week or the week after. You guys have a great day. I cannot wait. Tell me what you think about the new trees. Again, I'm only going over Windwalker. I don't play Brewmaster enough to really think anything, and people are okay with the Mistweaver tree. They're like, hey, this obviously builds towards fist weaving. You know, you can fist weave. You can choose to not fist weave. Just give us like something equivalent to the statue for fist weaving, which I think is what that middle statue is going to be. I'm fairly certain, and honestly, I cannot wait, right? I cannot wait, because again, before we go, I know it's been over 20 minutes, but I'm so happy with this. I'm so happy with this, right? Let's say you are a misleader. Right, so you're going to do that. You're going to take Detox. You're going to take Ferocity. You're going to go there for Transcendence. You're going to take G-Wave. You're probably going to take Roll. You're going to take that just to... Oh, no, you don't need to take that. Never mind. You can do that for Leg Sweep. You're going to do that for Elusive Mists. Do that for Rollout. Take that. You're going to take that, too. You're going to take Dampen Harm because why not? You're going to take that because it increases your healing. You're going to take that because it gives Leech. You're going to take Summon Jade Serpent Statue. Now we might take Zuen, or whatever this is supposed to go to. Right? We might take the Zuen statue. The only thing that you can really lose out on by not taking Tiger's Lust would be, like, Paralysis and Fortifying Brew. And, you know, maybe you don't need them. Who knows? Oh, what? Oh, Revival versus Restoral? What's this? Clears them of all harmful... Oh, it's castable while stunned. And it's not a Dispel. Huh. You might take that in a fight where you don't want to Dispel randomly. I don't know. I mean, I gotta be careful with my use of Revival right now. That's really cool. I like that. I like that. That's really cool. I'm liking this tree. You know what? Whoever designed Monk, you are a lot better at it than Celestalon. Because the specs apparently work.